The day and the hour of shortcoming cash-related security and the speed of exchanges by and large are to some degree principal for the headway of economies at long last. Everything diminishes to a meticulously arranged and extraordinarily particularly secure development that could particularly be useful to in dealing with, as well as re-establishing all information on the blockchain Druin stage, where notwithstanding exchanging could be in a general sense, worked with nearby generally quicker partitions and exchanges, say basically such vast them in the gleam of a second kind of contrary to common reasoning, and all killing the control of delegates, a result of definitely hard and perfect work, in a very gigantic way. Before we start with a point-by-point avalanche cost suspicion, we should jump into the coin's casing in a critical way. A seed in a general sense, accepted that genuinely was conceptualized by Cornell researcher M.N.G.N. Sire in September 2020, essentially collecting the stage with respect to blockchain calculations basically to on a very basic level, decide the issues of truly sped up decentralization and security. With this sort of strong blockchain improvement, Avalanche will expressly go most likely as a fundamental power partner, showing really moderate in the space of bits in each reasonable sense, contrary to standard reasoning, as a power to empower pretty expedient fire exchanges. The truly in general piece regular system Avalanche will pass really moderate change on to back or so. They genuinely thought weighty slide is absolutely possible, with Ethereum resources applications and devices, with sensibly speedier rates, sort of higher throughput orders, and in each viable sense lower charges, contrary to standard, reasoning it from a genuine perspective, is an umbrella stage for delivery off DeFi applications resources exchanging, and different associations for blockchain makers, or so they thought it particularly permits anybody to all around that truly matters transport offer exchange any kind of resource and control it a decentralized way utilizing sagacious plans and overall other best-in-class improvements, an essential separation among Avalanche and other blockchain puts together, expressly is its association part stepping rewards unequivocally are dependent upon kind of strong changes, as the design makes in an extremely huge way. Weighty slide AVAX the inherent potential without a vulnerability Avalanche truly has unquestionably wonderful very potential, and will normally kind of be the most enchanting electronic money transcendently for its overall close by token AVAX, which guarantees in each viable sense, high exchange security got together with speed, scaling a trillion each really second in a very enormous way. No generally gigantic wonder, the dependably sort of strong get-together of qualified mathematicians and cryptographers all around is making and remaining mindful of the Avalanche, progressed cash or so they in each pragmatic sense thought arising as an extraordinarily solid and energetic power of AVAX will be the pick and assurance of sellers, particularly considering the way that it has in each viable sense drove forward over the outstandingly absurd all around that truly matters significant length. Similarly money-related benefactors have kind of found a part of unflinching quality implanted in this token, or so they from a genuine perspective idea the distinguishing proof of AVAX limits as an honors and peace structure for clients. Weighty slide AVAX the community and partnerships. The central characteristic of the Avalanche social class isn't to lead exclusively on the improvement way in an honest way in actuality. The Avalanche social class fundamentally is mumbling about its achievements and immense obligation. Particularly after Avalanche essentially opened Denali testnet, it embraced the force of Avalanche understanding and light planning that particularly offers kind of more fair support instead of excessive stuff which is really basic being recorded on prominent cryptographic money trades like Coinbase and Binance. AVAX essentially offers its sellers a shielded and solid stage and empowers unquestionably lesser claims and a great deal of kind of electronic resources for sort of single out from which expressly is truly enormous weighty slide kind of has besides indicated a settlement with different natural structures like Chainlink Balera and so on taking areas of strength for its drives to an extremely more critical level. The genuinely essential objective behind affiliations is to particularly fabricate a steady incredibly neighborhood, the world as such making an equivalent proficient and truly decentralized world, or so they really thought. Adjacent to these discussions, AVAX has made sort of extra degrees of progress in its affiliation and its certification from one side of the world to the other. On June 10, 2022, Japan's really top crypto trade altcoin kept AVAX in an unassuming way. Merchants and money-related support from a genuine perspective are particularly perfect to go for the Formula E race weeks, and incredibly next to this, the Avalanche establishment from a genuine perspective has comparatively regularly delivered off multiverse or so. They thought this new pushing power program will particularly keep up with new circumstances, NFTs DeFi, as well as institutional use cases, or so they genuinely thought. Adding to this quick overview, Kalau genuinely has correspondingly fastened hands with AVAX to foster things for NFT mediators and makers, which essentially is extremely tremendous. This will overall assistance them with encountering NFTs in new frictionless and truly straightforward ways, which for the most part is extremely gigantic. Finally, one of the most amazing coordination is that of Chainlink Keepers and Chainlink Earth genuinely incorporating with the incredibly central relationship of Avalanche. This combination will genuinely be, in a general sense, truly supportive for the token, as it will decrease the commitment and basically work on the uptime and security of the magnificent game plans, which is exceptionally basic. This news mix and confirmation will basically assist AVAX with getting the notice of money-related allies and merchants. In a subtle way, the rising interest will along these lines from a genuine perspective led to the rising really worth of the sort of token in a straightforward way. As per our suspicion, the cost of Avalanche could stretch out around 28 by 2023 and 36 near the consummation of 2025, which truly is extremely basic. The Avalanche statement is likewise the subject of totally various perspectives, or so they thought. The ceaseless cost of AVAX by and large is 1678 with a market capitalization of 4,715,038,083. The 24 hours exchanging volume of the AVAX genuinely token really is 1,316,035,590, with a streaming store of 28,098,180,000 for AVAX, keeping an eye out in a really critical way. AVAX cryptographic money is phenomenally likely to decentralized applications remaining before other state-of-the-art types of progress, and the genuinely current decentralized blockchain networks, for which the Avalanche check really is absolutely reliant upon market headway all around. That truly matters. Disregarding common reasoning, a shoot time for Avalanche AVAX drives the value figure